Are you ready for the heavyweight championship of the world? Are you ready?
All right, it's good to be back. My name is Bill, and coming to you, three things about me. I am a member of Phi Beta Sigma. I am an educator, and I enjoy vacationing in Orlando.
All right, my name's Barry. I'm gonna try not to steal your fun facts. I love 90s R&B, married with children, and my favorite color is blue.
That's good.
All right, welcome to And in This Corner, where we settle the score for once and for all on who's the best. So that includes music, best movies, best shows, best anything. So here are the rules. Each host, myself and Bill, we get 30 seconds to explain who's the best of the topic that we're discussing. At the end of the round, Bill and I decide who won that round. We keep going until we run out of rounds, and whoever has the most points wins. This week, what we talking about, Bill?
So today we're going to talk about biopics. Biopics. However, what happens when we don't agree, Barry?
All right, so that's easy. The audience splits the difference. A lot of this is based on opinion, so forgive us. But my mama always said, if 5 or more people agree, that means it's a fact. So if you're watching this on YouTube or anywhere where you have a comment section, add your 2 cents below on if you agree or disagree. Try to be civil as possible, guys. But I mean, it's all for bragging rights. So we want to it's all for bragging rights. So we want to see who wins with a knockout.
All right, I want a good, clean fight. Let's get it on.
All right, so today, as I stated earlier, we're talking about biopics. What are biopics? Anything that is dealing with real life, a movie based on a person's life or a historical event. For example, we may look at movie Ray. It's based on a person's real life, Ray Charles. However, we do have movies that may seem like they are real, such as The 5 Heartbeats. That is not a real movie, so that movie is not counted.
I think we may have to ask for judges, ask the judges if that counts. But all right, cool, I get it. So what happens if, are you selective on if something is like, certain things are embellished for the sake of media? So is there a certain percentage you're looking for on how much of the story is true versus how much is like fictionalized? Does that matter? Or if
I think we want to look at least 80%, 75 at the lowest, but anywhere between 75% or higher as far as truth. I think that's the good money spot for us.
All right, I think I got it. I'm looking at my list right now, and it looks like most of this stuff is, there's a lot of gray areas, but for the most part, most of my stuff are considered true. All right, so without any further ado.
One more thing, Barry. Made for TV movies do count.
All right, cool. That goes without saying. I think like at least top of my head, probably three of mine might be there.
Absolutely.
So I'm cool with that. All right, so without any further ado, let's get into it.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
How about let's handle this like men? Survey says, let's do a coin toss. What you call it? Let me use my fictional coin right here. Heads or tails, Bill? Call it in the air.
Heads.
All right, you got it. You want to go first or second?
I will give you the honors of going first, sir.
All right, I'll take it. All right, so this is the way we're going to do it. Round 1, we're doing 10 movies. So round 1, list your top 10. And we're going to count backwards from that. So, and then we'll get into some of the heavy hitters later. So round 1 will be 10, round 2 will be 9, round 3 will be 8. Make sense?
Makes sense, sir.
All right, perfect. All right, since I'm going first, my round 1, I'm going with we get 30 seconds, right? 30 seconds to state my case?
Yeah, I think 30 seconds is fair enough. We can go with 30.
All right, cool. Tell me when to stop. If not, I'm going to just keep going. So number 10, I'm going with a Disney classic, Remember the Titans. This is like a classic. It's behind the giant of Disney, so everyone's seen it. Did 136.8 million at the box office. Decent, but this movie really grew on DVD. They showed this every Black History Month in school. And this it's kind of unique because it's behind Disney, and Disney gives it that innocent pedigree. So a lot of families think this is like family friendly when it's talking about racism and all the dark tones in the movie. So
We'll
it's
wrap
like,
that up, Barry. Wrap it up.
that was pretty quick. All right, cool. So I'm going with Remember the Titans. Denzel Washington. What more can I say? All right, that was quick.
I'm okay with that one. All right. Time. All right. So my number 10. This movie came out. Barry, you and I did this list a while ago. So what we're gonna do is my movie number 10, Judas and the Black Messiah. Fred Hampton. This movie taught me so much about Fred Hampton. They really tried to destroy this man's life, basically, and all he tried to do is just basically uplift everyone. And for him to be doing what he was doing at the age of 21, just the guy's acting, he is about to blow up. I think this guy in this movie, it did wonders. It made me upset again, and honestly, it took the place of a movie that I previously had right there. But we're not going to go into that, right? But the acting, the how it made you feel, the emotions that came from that movie, top 10.
All right, and you landed on a minute on the head. So now I went with Remember the Titans, kind of like a oldie but a goodie. You went with Judas and the Messiah. It is kind of like I may be prisoner of the moment, but I'll give you that one only because that one walked away with an Oscar nomination. And I don't put too much stocks in Oscar nominations, but that's a movie that I feel like is a little bit more significant than the Undefeated Titans. So I'll give you that one for this round. So you got 1 point on me.
Sounds good, sir.
All right, I was just writing that down. All right, so next up, you ready? You ready for me?
I'm ready.
Time. I'm going with Pursuit of Happiness. Will Smith, 307.1 million at the box office. This is when Will was still Mr. Box Office. Nomination for Academy Award. Once again, I don't care about Academy Awards, but I'll just list that. Some stuff is fictionalized in this movie, but like the Rubik's Cube scene never really happened. They took some creative liberties, but regardless, this is a feel-good story. Most of it is true. And this is kind of like graduated from like, it doubles as a Black History Month movie, as an entrepreneurship movie. So it's just a feel-good movie. Like people watch this when they want to feel inspired. And I think if you watch this movie and you don't cry, you're probably a sociopath. Lots of quotes. I mean, I think the year that this came out, I think most Americans donated the most amount of money to homeless people just because they felt for homeless people because of this the stuff that happens in this movie. I don't want to spoil it if you've never seen it. If you've never seen it, solid. It's definitely deserves to be in everyone's top 10. I got it at number 9.
Time.
Cool. I finished.
And because I went a little long on that last one, Barry, I'll let you go 55 seconds.
You let me go. Oh, wait, you let me get 55 extra seconds, you saying? Or
No, you got 55. But I started my time a little late. So
okay, all right.
I think that made up for last round.
Yeah, and I had nothing more to say. I mean, I said everything I did. So tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready, sir.
All right, go ahead. Time. Say time. And then
time.
All right, go ahead.
My number 9, I have Get On Up. Get On Up. James Brown. It's one of the movies that this guy was an icon. He's an icon in American music, and our God, R.I.P. Chadwick. He did a phenomenal job in portraying James Brown, everything from the dancing to just his persona. I believe it was one of the more watched and one of the more believable biopics from our time. And I believe this biopic helped place Chadwick on another level as far as his acting. And for me, it was just one of my top movies I have.
And I don't think this is his best performance from because I think he did better as 42, but it's James Brown. The music, I think the music is better than the movie, but Chadwick's performance is better than the movie. If that makes any sense. So off of his performance alone, I'm gonna bow to you and give you this round as well. And that's only because I don't know. Pursuit of Happiness is one of those movies I could probably watch once every. As good as it is, I probably watch it once every 4 or 5 years. It's not something that I'm watching every year because of the music and James Brown. It makes some of those scenes a little bit more rewatchable. He made music for your ears, right? You can hear it, don't you? Yeah. So I'm like, all right, I'll give you that.
All right.
I'll give you that one. I think I'm taking this one though, and I'm not holding back. So you ready?
Let's go.
All right, time. I'm going with Social Network. We said biopics. This movie changed the way they do biopics nowadays. Like, it won Best Screenplay, and it won 2 more other Oscars that I don't know. It was nominated for 8. It won 3 out of 8. If you're playing basketball, that's like a decent field goal percentage if you're starting off a game. It's almost 50%. It spawned a lot of copycats because basically the guy who wrote it, Aaron Sorkin, he doesn't necessarily tell you the whole history of somebody, like their whole bio story. He tells you an important part of their story. So this just basically talked about the conception of Facebook. And this movie, Facebook was already hot. This made Facebook hotter. Like, it's one of the biggest companies in the world. So, yeah, like, this is solid. Justin Timberlake's in it. I didn't know that dude could act.
Time, sir. Time.
Social Network.
Social Network.
It's iconic.
Iconic movie.
All
But
right.
I think I may edge you on this one.
All right, let's see.
Depending on what our followers.
I feel like I know what you got, and I'm not. I feel like I know what you have, and I'm probably gonna put up a fight on this one, but we'll see. All right, tell me when you want to start.
Time.
Go ahead.
My number 8, Straight Outta Compton. If anybody knows anything about music and these guys, NWA, we know Straight Outta Compton. There was some embellishment going on. The Dr. Dre fight scene, as far as when he punched out the gang member who was bothering his brother. From my research and watching other people, that did not happen, because if that would have happened, it would have caused a major issue amongst the gang members. And some other embellishment as far as when Suge supposedly beat up Eazy-E. Not sure if that really happened, because again, now you're talking about a gang war. However, beyond all that, acting was phenomenal. Ice Cube's son. I mean, you couldn't get any better than that?
And time. All right, I didn't expect that early. Yeah, you got that one. I think that if you don't have that movie, you don't get Black Panther right after. So I'll give you that. You got that. I'm not gonna lie. I might take some of my points back from some of the early ones, but that was a good pick, Bill.
Yes, sir.
All right, we moving on to 7. Let me see if I could change the tide a little bit, since I'm gonna try to pull on some people's heartstrings a little bit. You ready for me?
I'm ready.
All right, cool. Start the clock. I'm going with Selena's. Anything for Selena's. This movie was classic. I remember checking this movie out from the library before, like when Blockbuster was too expensive. I checked this out almost on a weekly basis. I don't think anybody was checking for J-Lo prior to this movie. This is probably her most iconic role. Even though she's an icon, she's done a lot of stuff. But outside of Made in Manhattan, and I'm being sarcastic, this is her most iconic role. Selena, the poetic way she died, like right before this movie was released. If you know the sad story that happened or whatever, pretty sad. But the music was good. It's just this was probably like that last old school classic biopic. Dad is beating, like scaring the kids into making it or whatever, similar to like the Jacksons in American Story-esque. Great music, great icon or whatever. So I'm going with Selena.
That's time.
You probably gave me more time, to be honest.
I gave you a little more.
Right,
I just gave you a little more.
All right, cool.
You're down 3-0, so I want to give you a little. Give you a little something to work. Give you a little layup. I give you the clear. I give you the lane to the clear lane to the hole.
There you go.
That was a great pick, Selena. Great pick. She was at the time, I didn't know, because I didn't venture off into certain genres of music, but she was iconic. J-Lo did a phenomenal job portraying her, and that is definitely cemented as one of the greatest biopics of all time. So I can't be mad at your pick at number 7.
And then who you got at number 7? That's where the suspense is.
My number 7, I think you have me on my number 7.
Tell me when you're ready first.
Time.
All right, go ahead.
I think you have me on my number 7, but we'll see. Let me throw my fishing reel out. Let's see. I have Why Do Fools Fall in Love? I think at that time Lorenz Tate was hot as far as on the acting scene, playing from Old Dog to his role in
Inkwell. He just had
Inkwell. Inkwell. That's the movie I was thinking of. Why Do Fools Fall in Love? He was
Love Jones.
He was that new young actor ready to explode. I knew the song. I didn't know the background of the song. I didn't know how it originated or anything. I do know that I remember Diana Ross singing the song, but I didn't know from where it originated. So this movie gave me a lot of information as far as the background and how basically the fall of
and time. Yeah, good movie, classic. Only reason I say I'll take this one is because, and Selena may suffer from this as well because a lot of the new generation probably isn't watching both of these movies, which is why Selena's came out with that Netflix thing or whatever. But I would say because of the J-Lo aspect, Selena's probably lived longer in the lexicon of biopics than Why Do Fools Fall in Love. I watched it growing up, loved it growing up. It don't get rerun love on BET like the other movies do. So I'm gonna take this one. And yeah, like I just think you got a more iconic celebrity that they're talking about with Selena. Just because in that Mexican community. The only reason I knew her is because we didn't have cable and I was watching Telemundo.
Absolutely.
So, but also, like you said, he suffers from his biggest hit is the Diana Ross remake. So, but that movie was comical. There was a lot of parts in there that was fictionalized, like when they was throwing the dog out the window. Some of the slang they were using in that movie was like present day. So I always thought that was funny. Funny movie, comical. But if I'm going with Selena, it's just I don't know. It's very close. Excuse me, but I think I may edge you out just by.
No, I give it to Selena.
And I'm looking at my number 6. By placement wise, you might take me on this, but we'll see. I'm feeling lucky right now. You ready for this timer?
I'm ready, sir.
All right, and time. I'm going with Founder. Reason I'm going with Founder, that's that movie that's basically based off of Ray Kroc's McDonald's Ray Kroc. Every person I refer to watch this movie, they love the movie, but end up hating McDonald's. So basically this movie is about the tumultuous relationship between the founder and creators of investor of McDonald's and how bad that relationship was. But it's like a truth telling of like the right way and the wrong way to conduct business. It's very dramatic, but it's an awesome movie. I'm probably not eating at McDonald's again, but definitely entertaining. This movie, rappers are going to use this for references for days. There's a Snowfall used it as a reference. That's how big it was. That's it. All right, so I got Founder. What you got?
Barry, I have to agree with you on that. When I hated Ray.
Yeah,
I hated him.
Well, let's be specific. Yeah, everybody did.
I hated him. And I learned that McDonald's became a real estate company. So
yeah, it was educational, but it was just very sad at the end on what happened and
absolutely.
How we did business.
Yeah. So time.
All right, go ahead. Who you got?
Barry, I think I got you on this one, sir.
Go ahead.
I'm going with love. What's love got to do with it?
I don't think you need to talk anymore. I think you do.
What's love got to do with it? I don't think there's too much I have to say about this movie. This was, I think, Angela Bassett's breakout role. This was, she literally, as far just body-wise, the muscularity of her body and her performance, she's already a great actress. So she drew us in to knowing Tina Turner even more. I knew of Tina Turner, obviously. However, she's not my era of music, but her music bled into my era. So you can't stop great music from you can't stop great music. You can't stop iconic music. You're gonna hear it and you're gonna know it. She did a wonderful job. I have to go back and look at the nominations.
Time. No, this is the reason. It's time, but this is the reason I don't believe in the Oscars, because she was robbed that year.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she was robbed that year. This either the year before, this the year after Denzel got robbed also. So she was one of the most iconic robberies that I remember in Oscar history. So you got that one. I'll give you that. That's just one thing I'll say. There's a few movies that could beat What's Love Got to Do with It. Just like the next movie on my list, I feel like I'm about to bring this Kryptonite. It really depends on placement or what you got. So I'm ready. Time.
Let's go.
All right, Temptations. It's quote for days. Memes for days. Ain't nobody come to see you, Otis. You know, Pecos Kid, Bang Bang, anything. Man, I haven't been able ever since Blue went into the the kitchen to go get the cornbread and the ribs and whatever. I've never been the same ever since. So some people actually call Leon, they call him David Ruffin from Five Heartbeats, or David Ruffin from Waiting to Exhale. That's how iconic this role is with him. So
absolutely.
Yeah, and Frat, this is Frat right here, Phi Beta Sigma. So original 5 members. It taught me a lot about these guys. I already knew the music, but to see what they had to come through, I'm like, wow, they was wilding like that back then. The Barry Gordy Beast, you see all of that stuff, but the music, and this is made for TV, but it's so quotable that I forget that this wasn't in theaters like that.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, so that's why I got it number 5. I'll be surprised if you got Heat.
Man, I was so engulfed in what you were saying, Barry. I let you go a little longer than what you should have. However, at number 5, this is a draw. I have the Temptations at number 5. I have Temptations at number 5. On my list, Temptations. Everything that you said, I totally agree with. The rise and fall of R&B groups. Basically, they are, if you look in the dictionary under R&B groups, Temptations probably would be the picture. The guys did a great job. You had Leon, and you had all the others, and you had the Barry Gordy, like you said, Pecos Kid, Smokey Robinson, and everything that I felt the Detroit. I felt Motown watching this movie. So we got to push on that one there.
It's time. Yeah, it's a push. And then, just the quotes, man. If I say any small line from that movie, no matter how obscure it is, people know where it came from. How come you're always on the road? Like, drink with me, my brother. Like, it's quotes for days. Like, I thought I had you on that one, but it's just placement. So number 4, time. Go ahead, time. All right, yeah, I got What's Love Got to Do with It. Once again, I said it's a few movies that could beat this, and I had this a little higher than you. Only reason because it's Angela Bassett's. It's not her. She has a lot of iconic roles now because she's in Black Panther and everything. She's in Waiting to Exhale. Waiting to Exhale may be her most iconic role. But man, like you said, she was swole on this movie, so she had to go kind of go through the physique transformation, and then I just remember watching this as a kid, and that those domestic violence scenes just scaring me or whatever. So the Nam Yo Renge Cure, I didn't know that about her personal life. I just knew some of the music, and I knew she was on. She was one of the people featured on We Are the World, We Are the Children. And so I think a lot. Okay. I don't think it's a lot of movies that could beat that. So what you got, Bill?
No, and I've already talked about that movie, so I don't have to beat the dead horse. At number 4,
you ready? Say time when you're ready.
Time.
Go ahead.
At number 4, Barry, I have the Jacksons, American Dream. Funny thing about that movie is Angela Bassett is in that one as well. I remember when this movie came out in the early 90s, mid 90s, made for TV, 2-part series, one of the highest rated television, movie watched shows at the time. I believe Bumper, can't remember his last name, but the guy Bumper, he played in the movie. He also played in the last season of Different World. He was nominated for something, brought up more awareness to him. Again, it showed us just from the beginning to end. And because they were the Jackson 5 were so ahead of my time, I didn't really know of them as far as the background knowledge, but I knew of them.
Time. And I knew enough about them. And the only reason why is I think you're benefiting off of putting some of my movies on your list, but you're putting them earlier. So that's what's stopping me. And I know, well, for 3, I think I got you because this is the first time I think I'm going to get to do this to you. But you got that one. You ready?
Yeah.
Time.
Let's go.
Number 3. You already see the hat. I changed my hat specifically because I knew this was gonna show up on the countdown. I remember I already liked this movie, but then you kind of made me revisit it a couple years ago where I love this movie even more now. Denzel Washington looks nothing like Malcolm X, but while you watch the movie, you forget that because he becomes Detroit Red. And when you read the autobiography of Malcolm X, that's the best representation of from book to script to movie I've ever seen. It's exactly like the book. If you see the movie, there's a few parts they leave out in the book, but just great. I think it's a great telling of how a man could be born in America.
Time.
All right, cool. Just I love the movie. I don't think you could find something that's gonna beat it, unless it's one movie that could possibly beat it. And this number 3 for me, so possibly 2.
The only way I beat that is if I switch my order.
Exactly.
I can't switch my order because my order is I'm ranking.
Exactly.
Go ahead, time, Barry.
Okay, go ahead.
Number 3, I have the New Edition story. Everyone will find out why I'm at a distraught right now, but the New Edition movie, that is my era's Jackson 5. That's my era's Jackson 5. This movie was in talks many years prior to the release. The guys did an excellent job. I did not know Ricky was on drugs like that. I learned a lot. The gun that was brought out at the show, I didn't know about that. The spinoff to the Bobby Brown movie, and learning a lot of things about that. But the Jackson 5, that is New Edition is my era of the Jackson 5. I can stop right there.
And time. And you already know how I feel about New Edition, so I feel you, but Malcolm X pedigree, I got that one. All right, number 2, I want to see where you go. All right, I think I might know what you have in your top 2, so you might get me on this placement. So you ready? Time.
Yes,
Jackson's an American Dream. It's the most iconic pop star that we have, and this is the most respectable footage you have from a biopic, because everything else you can't capture Michael's life on camera because of the skin situation. It's hard to find casting for him. You remember what Flex had to do. It's like, this is the most respectful form of a biopic that we'll ever get to see of the King of Pop. The music, the education from him being born late 50s all the way up to the Victory Tour or whatever. I remember when this movie came out, I was glued to the TV like you were. It educated us on a lot, made us respect the whole family on putting in work, and introduced me to a lot of the brothers I didn't know by heart. And the acting, the dancing, the choreography was on point. I forgot who they did to do the choreography, but I know he helped out with Michael's. I think it was the dude that helped out with the Thriller video. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But the dancing, the music, education. It's Jackson's An American Dream for number 2 for me.
I can't be mad at that pick.
I know what you're going for number 2. So
Bear, we've talked a lot.
Yeah.
Time. You start me up.
Yeah.
However, you know where I'm going with my number 2 pick, because you know my number 1 pick. So my number 2 pick is Ray. at this point, the awards that he won, the likeness, although he didn't look like Ray Charles like that, the likeness of his movement, his speech, his tone, him actually playing the piano. They didn't have to get a musical double to play the piano. He actually played the piano. I didn't know Ray Charles was on drugs that bad. I'm learning a lot of things because, again, these guys were not in my era. Just the music. Regina King did well. I mean, you got Bokeem Woodbine. He was in there. I forget my guy's name, but he's always in a lot of movies. He was the
you had Lawrence Tate, Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard, but the guy who was his assistant.
I know who you're talking about. From Menace to Society, the snitch. I forgot his real name, but no. All right, so you get that, but with number one, just start me on in time because I got to explain something.
Let's go.
All right, so I know what you're putting as number one.
Yep.
I'm putting Ray as number one for everything that you just explained. The decorations from the Academy. I just remember, as much as we feel like Academy wants to hate on color, they couldn't do it with this movie just because it was too excellent. The music, Jamie's voice. I'm like, okay, what part is Ray? What part is him? The fact that Ray was connected to this whole biography before he died. So you had the rest in peace element. The whole thing about Georgia, that whole ban about him being banned from Georgia, that was like up to the movie was done. I think he was still banned or whatever. So this movie, I feel like regardless, everyone loves this movie, regardless of race, religion, creed, or whatever. Jamie Foxx is immortalized because of this role. So I'm putting it as number one. I knew what you were going to go with, one or two. And I feel like Ray is clearly the number one best biopic.
And stop.
All right.
Well,
I know where you're going, so tell me when you want to start.
You can start now. And I gave you a minute for that number one, FYI.
All right.
My number one is Malcolm X. Again, as you stated earlier, I'm just going to piggyback off of that. Although they don't necessarily look alike, but you cannot tell me that Denzel Washington was not Malcolm X. Like, no one can tell me that he wasn't him. From them being able to have his hair reddish and just movement, you can feel the polarizing
the speech
and just everything. Just he was Malcolm X. And in my opinion, this is probably this was top three Denzel roles of all time.
I may be tripping, but it might be number one.
It could be. It's easy to make someone fall in love with a character who you're making up. It's hard to make someone
finish that and you're done. Finish what you were saying.
It's hard to make someone believe that you're someone else.
All right. I thought you were going to say something else. I thought you were going to say it's easy to make people fall in love with the character who they love. But the thing about Malcolm X, he's polarizing. And it's like the same amount of people who love him or the same amount of people who hate him. And I think that's why Ray is the bigger movie. I think most people will agree with me that Ray's the bigger, better movie because you got to remember, I love Malcolm X, but he's polarizing. There's like a huge group of people who don't like him and are biased towards that movie. So it's more so you got two celebrities, right? You got Ray and you got Malcolm X. Malcolm X is always going to be polarizing. I feel like until recently is when people started kind of accepting what his teachings were to realize, oh, he wasn't crazy. So Ray has always kind of been, I guess, admired more. He had the little Georgia incident, but Jim Crow, I think people understand who were the bad guys in that situation. The music, I feel like that movie is probably it's in syndication way more rerun wise, and that's the reason why you can't find it on streaming anywhere. It's because that studio is making way too much money, which is why they can't hand it out for free. I done caught Malcolm X a couple times on Netflix, so I love both. I got it in my top three, but I'm like, if we being real, I said I'm saying Ray's probably the more dominant movie out of that. And you might as well give it to me because you beat me anyway. But I land.
You know what, Bear? I'll throw you a bone.
I appreciate it. Appreciate it. I'm not gonna keep score. I'll give you score right now. Like Bill, you got 1. You got round 1, round 2. Yeah, it's like 6-4. And I may be miscounting. It's 6-4, but hey, I might be tripping. But hey, I'm not gonna stop you. It's judge's decision. You got it, Bill. Go ahead and give your victory speech.
I would like to thank everyone for coming out and watching me in our first battle come out victorious. I would like to thank all my followers and fans. Thank you so much. I've persevered. I'm battle tested. And I'm ready for my next, and I'm ready to defend my championship.
Hey, tell them where the after party at.
At the party, my 2 cents. This is for the fans. This is for the followers, our audience. Add your 2 cents in. We want to know. We want to hear from you. So we're going to put this out. It's going to follow our YouTube channel. And please like, comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe.
And yeah, just to make sure, like maybe I'm tripping. I think I gave Bill some of those early rounds, so this is where we want to hear from you guys. If you feel like I was probably tripping and I probably deserved some of those rounds, add some stuff, but also let us know some of the stuff that we forgot. So go ahead and include that in your 2 cents. So basically in the comment section, flood it with movies that we missed out on and rounds that you think I won and Bill really lost on, vice versa or whatever. So yeah, that's it. And then yeah, like he said, like and subscribe. Anything else, Bill?
I think we're good. I appreciate it. I like it.
All right, cool. Ref, ring that bell.